Guys, it's autumn, which means that we are starting a brand new series of Big Brother UK. And I have to say, this season is not looking great, I'll be honest. I'm one episode in, guys, and I already am feeling a little bit disappointed. I'm underwhelmed by the cast. The opening night twist is a little bit disappointing. The amount of housemates is again slightly concerning to me. So I am just hoping that there are some other twists later down the line that will kind of save and redeem this for me. But at the moment, I'm not feeling like I'm fully checked in. I'm still going to watch it and I'm still going to enjoy it. But am I fully checked in, and do I really want to stake in this series? I don't really know. So join me as I am going to talk through every single one of the housemates that came into the house. We've got a lot to talk about, and then we'll see what happens in the coming days and the coming weeks. We've got 7 weeks this year, 1 week longer than usual. I'll probably be doing videos every other day with some missed here and there based on when my schedule will allow it. But most of the time I will be here, so make sure you stick around. So let's get in to our first contestant. We start with Gani, and Gani immediately interested me. He is 39 years old. He's one of only 2 housemates that is over the age of 27, which is, first of all, frankly ridiculous. But he came in with energy and with excitement. He spoke about his life. He spoke about how he is a Pizza Hut manager. He came up with this frankly disgusting pizza idea, and it's now on the menu or something like that. I have to say, I was not particularly impressed with his pizza taste, but I have to say, he came in with the right energy, the right va-va-voom, the right kind of pizzazz that you want from a Big Brother contestant to go in first. I wanted excitement from people, and you could tell that he was genuinely excited to be on the show. He is nearing 40, which means that he's definitely on the older end of the scale, and I use that very lightly because he's not particularly old at all. But there's just a lot of things that I feel like he's going to have different views on than people in the house. He's definitely going to have some kind of an opinion at times. He is a manager, so he might take a more leading approach in the house. There's so many things that I feel like could be interesting with him, but we're just gonna have to wait and see whether that turns out. Cameron was up next, and he immediately told me that he was a farmer from Somerset. He is 22 years old, and I don't know, my mate that I watched it with thought he was the best person on the entire cast, and we sort of started to notice some interesting things about the way he was interacting with people. He would go in for a handshake like this, he would lean forward and he would put his hand out like that. It was just interesting things that we noticed, quirky behaviours. Not entirely sure what he's going to be like in the house, purely because all that we learn from him is that he has a movable office in his tractor. He has a mini fridge in his tractor which only has a bottle of water in, which I think is bullshit, but that's to say the least. He said he's introverted and he's hoping to make friends in the house. I think that is an interesting person to put in the house. I personally don't feel like introverted people make good TV. I feel like you have to put extroverted people in, or people who are willing to be extroverted, because there's been a couple of contestants on the last 2 series that I would consider introverted and who have been incredibly boring to watch. So I don't know, this cast currently, I'm like, oh, I don't know how I feel about it. But let's move on to the next contestant. So Nancy is from Glasgow, but she's got Polish parents and they raised her in Italy, and I'm very confused because there was a lot going on in this introduction. It kind of felt like she was rattling off everything we needed to know about her. She's a gamer, she's pansexual, she speaks 500 million different languages. It was just information overload, and I didn't even manage to write down everything that she was saying because it was just bombarded with information. I think she's interesting, and I feel like she's filling that archetype of, oh, we've got the blonde in the house. We had it last series, potentially with Lily taking that role. We had it the season 4 with Olivia. This series, we've got about 500 million blonde people, so it's going to be hard to differentiate them, but we'll get to that later down the line. Nancy seems lovely. She seems like she's got good vibes with her. So I'm excited to see how this goes and see sort of how she gets on in the house living with other people. But only time will tell with that. First impressions are good, but that could all change. You never know. So we got Caroline, who is 56 years old. And I have to say, personally, she was my highlight of the night. She came in with the right energy. She's of a demographic that I find fascinating to watch on reality television. And I feel like she's going to rub people up the wrong way. She very easily could be a week one eviction, but I personally would like to see her in the house a little bit longer, considering the demographic of this season is significantly younger than I would ever have wanted. It basically looks like a cast of Love Island rejects at one point. I just feel like we need Caroline in the house in order to just add a little bit of flavour, add a little bit of life experience, give me some stories. Because if I'm being 100% honest, what has Cameron got to talk about when all he does is sit in his tractor on a farm? Do you know what I mean? Like, he ain't got life stories. Caroline does. She came in a sparkly cowboy hat. She was walking around asking where the champagne was. I want that kind of energy in the house, and I have a feeling she's not going to be lasting long in this house, and that is really disappointing to me. So, up next we had Zella, and I have to say, at first I was a little bit like, what a plonker, what a dickhead. Like, comes in and he's like, oh, I'm not going to be happy if I don't get my 12,000 steps a day. And I was like, oh, God, this is boring. And then he goes, oh yeah, you know what? I'm not one of the lads. I don't really get along with like the lads, the bros. And I was like, okay, interesting. Then plot twist, transgender. I was like, whoa. Honestly, brilliant. I was not expecting that. Amazing. That's how you do a reveal in your entrance video. You don't come straight out and say it. You lead us along. You make us think you're a boring, oh yeah, gym lad. But you're not. There's something to you. There's something interesting there. Let's go. I'm happy. I'm excited to see where this is going. There's a good mix of diversity in terms of ethnicity, sexuality, orientation, things like that. The only thing that they lack season after season, which pisses me off, is the age. Because he's 25 years old. Why have we got so many 20-year-olds? They're not interesting TV. They're so boring. They're so unbelievably boring. If you look at the last few seasons, who are the people that you remember from the series? Farida, Kerry, Ali. Ali is 39 years old. Oh, no, she wasn't. She was in her 30s, late 30s. Either way, iconic. They're older housemates that have had experiences. They've lived life. And you remember them. Granted, Lily from last series, Olivia from season 1. But again, that's because they have excitable personalities. They're entertaining TV. Whereas there are some people that I'm just sitting there and I'm like, you're not going to make interesting TV. And I'll get to them in a little bit. So up next we had Tasia. She is 18 years old, which, correct me if I'm wrong, youngest person we have ever had on the ITV version of the show. Could be wrong. Maybe Hallie was 18. I don't know. But either way, young. Okay, I was not expecting this. However, seems to have her head screwed on. Okay, she is from Bristol. She owns a cleaning company with her mum, which I was like, ooh, okay, interesting. Definitely an interesting little caveat, because usually 18-year-olds come into the house, or young people come into the house, and they're notoriously quite messy individuals. Lily. And she owns a cleaning company. So I have a feeling that Tasia might actually be one of the people that will be spearheading the cleaning charge in the house, because God knows they're going to need it. And I have to say, she said that she doesn't like being told what to do. And I think that is going to be an interesting dynamic, because I like those people. I like the people that come to the house and they're like, do you know what? I'm not going to take bullshit from nobody. I'm not going to take any flack from no one. I'm not going to do it. That's it. So yeah, it's very, very interesting to sort of see how she's going to turn out. Now up next we had Emily, and within 5 seconds of her entrance video, she'd mentioned the word that nobody wants to hear on Big Brother, and that is the word Tory. Okay, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just... Listen, we've had some horrendous people on the show that have claimed to be Tories, and you just think there's a running theme of just nastiness. And that I just got that vibe from her immediately. And then I go onto Twitter after the episode and find a load of her tweets well, she's actually locked her account now, but people have said that they have blocked her in the past because of the horrid stuff that she's been spouting on Twitter. So I'll have to see it to believe it, but I don't doubt it. Do you know what I mean? I'm not doubting the intel that I've got. So I have to say, not ideal. She apparently is a bit of a scatterbrain. She left the hob on for 5 days, which I'm concerned how your house didn't burn down or your gas bill wasn't £500,000. Do you know what I mean? What on earth are you doing here? Yeah, I don't know. And then she said that she's gagging for a husband that she can go to church with. And I just thought, do you know what? I've completely checked out of anything that you've got to say this series because I just know that it's going to be unpleasant. So up next, we had another 22-year-old, Marcus. And Marcus came in and I was like, oh, God, he looks like a plonker. Again. But unlike Zella, he didn't have some kind of plot twist that made me go, okay, interesting, maybe I am interested in you. He basically came in and he was like, yeah, I'm an engineer, went into the Royal Navy at 18, etc, etc. I've sorted my eyebrows out and I went, okay, cool, we need to know that because... And then he basically said that he'll flirt with Big Brother. And I was like, brilliant. We've got the flirty, cheeky chappy coming into the house. Oh, I'm gonna seduce the girls, yeah. Never works out for them. Never, ever has it worked out for them. And honestly, I feel like we need to leave this archetype in the past. I'm bored. I would rather 101 Camerons than have Marcus on the show. Do you know what I mean? He's just not interesting to me at all. And I just feel like he's going to be boring. And speaking of boring, we got Tate up next. And he's 27. Oh, God. Oh, genuinely, I can't believe they put these two back to back. It was at this point that I went, yeah, you know what? This show, this season, it's not looking good for us. It really is not looking good for us fans. It isn't. And it should be, but it's not. And I'm concerned now because I want it to be good, but it's not going to be good, is it? It's just not going to be good because Tate is a butler in the buff from Scotland and he spent most of his entrance video with his cheeks out. And I just thought, what's the need? What's the point? Why? Because I'm not even being funny. I'm sorry, you're not that attractive. If I got you as a butler in the buff, I would want a refund. I'm sorry, I would. Okay? I'm sorry. I have to say it how it is. I have to say it how it is on the show. Yeah, disappointment is all I can say for this guy. And yeah, not a bit of me, if you ask me. Just no, I'm sorry, no. He's just not giving the vibes straight away. And he's also someone that I can already tell is going to be unproblematic in the house, is going to sell through the finale night and be in 6th place. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be boring. God. Anyway, let's move on to the next person. Now, if there's one person in the house that I was like, I actually don't care. I think it would be Elsa. My mate was like, oh, I've seen her on TikTok. She's really like popular on TikTok. She got out of an abusive relationship or something. And I was like, oh, okay, well, good for her. I didn't get any kind of excitement from watching her entrance video. I felt the energy was low. She was talking quite hushed. I didn't get fiery. I didn't get excitement. My notes for her were TikToker, thinks she's Tinkerbell, will get angry, can see dead people, which I don't even want to know what that's about. And she's not bitchy. So if you're not bitchy, you might get angry at some point, but like probably not. And you can see dead people. Like I don't understand what some of these casting directors saw in these people. Did they apply for Love Island and then they just had like an overspill and thought, oh yeah, let's just shove them in Big Brother? Because what are we doing here? Surely out of the thousands and thousands of applicants that you got for this show, there were better picks than these people. Surely there was. There had to have been. I want to see the proof. I want to see the rationale. I want you to explain to me why these people are on the show, okay? I need to know because I just don't understand currently. I don't get it, but that's just me. Next up, we have Sam. Now, Sam came in with the right energy. He is queer as a $3 bill, as Abby Lee Miller would say. And dress sense was all over the place, but kind of quirky, kind of fun. And I'm interested to see what kind of shit he's going to pull out in the house. I'm hoping it's he, and I haven't misgendered, but we haven't learnt that yet. Do you know what I mean? We haven't learnt the law, so I'm going to stick with what I think, and we'll go from there. He's a number instructor, which I found quite interesting, and apparently he's going to be horrendous to live with. So, again, I feel like there's good energy there. I mean, we were at this point, we were 10 people in, and Sam came out, and I was like, oh, thank God, we've got somebody that's going to provide a little bit of energy within the house, because so far, we've got, like, Butler in the bath, oh, I'm Tinkerbell, and Marcus who's going to flirt with a wallpaper. So, I'm just bored of those kind of people, so it was exciting to have him in. He is 27, so again, on the slightly older end of things, which is crazy to say being 27, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. And so our last contestant, and again, I was kind of shocked that they're only putting 12 in. I thought 14 would have made better sense, but maybe they're going to introduce a twist and they're going to introduce more people later down the line. I don't know. Personally, I think that's bullshit. I think they should all be put in on launch night. There shouldn't be any later entries because it just doesn't work for me. But it is where it is. Jenny is up next. Jenny is a rule breaker. She's a nice person. And she's got good energy. And that is all I got from her entrance video because she's from Derry and I could not understand a word she was saying. I am going to need subtitles with this girl because, my God, it was tough. It was tough to understand. It really was. And, like, low-key, I think she's a wonderful, wonderful person. I didn't understand her. Not at all. Not even a little bit. Not even slightly. There were so many times where I had to rewind and really listen and be like, huh? What is she saying? So maybe that's just me and maybe that's just the accent. I don't know. Maybe some people just cannot understand certain accents and maybe that's the one that I found that I can't understand. I'm good with accents usually, but maybe Derry, I can't understand them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Love you guys. If you're from Derry, you're iconic. But I can't understand you, besties. So, what's the launch night twist, you might ask? Well, they each got given an eyeball to walk into the house with. And I was like, ooh, what's this going to be about? Ooh. And it turned out that there was a public vote for who you wanted to evict the house night one. And that was not proper English. Evict the house. Who you wanted to evict from the house night one. And I was just like, oh, we've really only got 12 people in the house and you want to get rid of one of them on night one. If there was a cast of 16, yeah, fair enough. There's a lot of people for 7 weeks. Fine by me. But this is absolutely ridiculous. This is too much. We're going to be down to 11 people, which is how many people I'm fairly certain we had by the end of week 5 last year. So that's kind of crazy. Either way, it is what it is. I'm kind of checked out of this series already slightly. Purely because the people that were put up for the nomination by the public, the bottom 5 were Emily, which I was happy about, Nancy, unhappy, Sam, unhappy, Carolyn, unhappy, Cameron, kind of unhappy as well, because I just love his, like, hello, how nice to meet you. That was really funny to me, and it caused a lot of entertainment in our household. We always looked out for him and his handshakes, or his hugs, and that really made me chuckle. But then, the bottom 3 from those bottom 5 were actually Emily, Sam, and Caroline. And it was revealed on Late and Live that they're going to have to decide between them who is going to be leaving the house, which I don't know whether that's going to make interesting television or not. I just don't think it will. But anyway, that is it for this episode. We actually did a draft pick, me and my mate. I have Gani, Tasia, Zella, Caroline, Marcus, and Emily. I'm not entirely happy with my list, but then there isn't exactly a great deal to pick from. So, yeah, I feel like this season needs something to spark it up. Like, but if Caroline goes home first, I feel like we're just going to be in for a series of Love Island rejects, I can't lie. So, yeah, that is it for today. I hope you guys have enjoyed my honest thoughts of the Big Brother cast for this year. I'm disappointed, but I'm hoping that there is potential and there's promise that I haven't seen yet. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and also keep on ranting. And I'll see you guys later. Bye now. See ya.